So looking at the men's singles rankings as of the start of this month and the race to the finals, it's actually, look at that, 5 Chinese Taipei players out of the top 10. Just one from China, Zii Jia, and Zii Jia in there as well at 6, along with Lo Kian Yu, Anders Andersen, and Kao Long. I'll prepare for the big cheer. He's done a lot for himself in terms of personal image, Zii Jia. Gets a lot of fans. But saying that, I'm not just going to rest on that. It is a 3rd final out of 4 tournaments for him. And under the great tutelage of Wang Tatmeng, he has certainly got his output on court a little bit more effective. Up against the trouble man, 22-year-old Kodai Naraoka. Wildly skillful player, but well, you know, he's actually cultivating a bit of a bad boy image. He gets a lot of cards. He has ongoing discussions with umpires, but he does come through, and he's come through again here. Made the final. Kelvin Sui, I see that. The head-to-head is 3-2. Last meeting, Zii Jia won, but in the last 5 meetings, Kodai's won 3 of them.
Or black? Black, gold for you. Gold. You want that side? You will serve. Thank you very much.
2 very different types of player. Naraoka likes to play out the points. He's no stranger to long rallies, and he'll quite happily take the match to the distance. Zii Jia looks to activate that big smash of his whenever he can. And recently, he's been adding a couple of extra strings to that big smash as well. And I think that, Aaron, is down to Wang Tatmeng.
I would agree. And we saw great example of that yesterday. I was keen to watch that because of how Zii Jia plays. He's a quietly patient player, always makes good, intelligent shot choices, and Zii Jia had to live through those types of games. So that particular type of player, I think Naraoka has a very similar dimension, not so much in the stroke play, but in terms of intelligent play. And Zii Jia, in the past, when people have been talking about consistency, I think it's this kind of player that he would have had trouble with.
So these are his results. Subramanian, that was 3 in 64 minutes. Sung Jo Ven, also from Malaysia, in 41 minutes. Nishimoto in 67 minutes. And then Lee Cha-Hao in 56 minutes. So he's had a long week. He's had a very, very busy week in terms of matches. And if Naraoka does intend to take this to 3, that's very much been the theme of Final Sunday as well, then perhaps he is ready for it. He was as high as number 2, the 6'1" Zii Jia. That was back in October of 2022. And we'll get to his achievements a little bit later on. They have been pretty sizable in 2024. For Naraoka, 22 years old, born in Aomori, and he's also been world number 2. So this really is set up. That was back in December of 2023. He's only 5'8". That might be a huge, significant factor. These were his opponents. Corono, 34 minutes. Wangcharian, 61 minutes. Pranoy in 61 minutes. That is a significant result because Pranoy is very much like him in a player. And Lin Chunyi, as you see, 2 very close, long straight games. Kelvin Sui in the big chair.
Naraoka, another one of those players, taller than you think. He's taller than Lee Chong-wei.
Yeah. He doesn't look it at all.
He doesn't look it at all.
Sarah Shoseni and in the service judge position. So Zii Jia, well, as I said, if they get onto court, he is quarterfinalist at the Indonesian Open last week. Runner-up at the Malaysian Masters. He won the Thai Open, his quarterfinal at the Badminton Asian Championships, All England, Indonesian Masters, and India. That is a decent output, considering he was in a bit of a rut last year and really couldn't get past round 1 and round 2. But as I said, Wang Tatmeng is an absolute genius. He's coached so many great single players, including An Se-yong at one point. was when she was very young. Of course, now she's well into the Korean setup.
So he would know a little bit about good patience for a player,
Yeah.
Seong,
Ladies
patient
and
player.
gentlemen,
Exactly.
on my right, Kodai Naraoka, Japan.
And that's exactly what he does bring, and he has done that to Zii
And
Jia.
on my left,
Naraoka
Zii
was an
Jia,
unknown quantity
Malaysia.
for the Sydney crowd until he made a lot of fans here when he soaked in all the pressure that Zii Jia threw at him in
Kodai Naraoka to
one of his
serve.
early appearances at the Australian Open.
Level. Play.
Well, that's one thing I have to say about Naraoka. He really can soak up pressure from the best. He's taken on the best, and he's proved a handful for the best. And I'm talking Axelson's, Zhi Yuqi's, Li Shifeng's, that level. He's a good all-round player.
Love.
Perhaps, just perhaps, there is a little bit of that attitude that could be pulled back, because he does get yellow cards. He does get, you know, this idea of delaying matches and you know, all that other stuff, gamesmanship, courtcraft, you name it. But in terms of shot quality and skills, he's got it all. There's that big smash from Zii Jia. Naraoka has had a slightly quieter 2024. His quarterfinals in Singapore and the Thailand Open, third at Badminton Asia Championships, India Open, and quarterfinalist at the Malaysia Open right at the start of the year. Currently ranked 6th. Zii Jia currently ranked 8th. Well left. Said Zii Jia under Pat Meng has become a little bit more patient. He is still very dependent on that big smash, but then I guess if that's your weapon, that's your weapon.
Well, he's got the second weapon, the net play weapon.
Yeah,
returning the net shot with another net shot, with another net shot,
Yeah.
and another.
And for a 6'1" player, that is, I said, very important, because it's the kind of thing. Li Shifeng is also a 6-foot player. Obviously, Victor Axelsen, 6'4". It's almost a new fashion in men's singles to be that size, but yet move like a much smaller person. A couple of mistakes from Naraoka early on.
Service over. 3.
And it will make
2.
for great TV. They both have flashy shots within them.
Yeah. Well, it has been quite the turnaround for Zii Jia. You know, not so long ago, he was actually a very despondent young man who was talking about quitting badminton forever. But that's when Wong Tat Meng stepped up and is really now, I guess for all young players, if you get a run of results like that, you start performing, and you can really start seeing what you can do. Personally, I think he is still off a little bit from winning gold. He's expecting to win gold in the Olympics. I think the likes of Axelsen, Zhi Yuqi, and Li Shifeng, just, you know, especially Zhi Yuqi and Axelsen, still a bit too much for him.
So holding on to dark horse label then.
Yeah. Yes, dark horse, definitely.
Zii Jia, just at the moment.
These, I said, 3 finals in 4 tournaments. That's a great way to prepare for the Olympics. But don't in any way think it's a shoe-in, because there are some great players going. A good developed rally.
Service over. 4-3.
Has anyone ever told you or described to you that Naraoka, 3/4 of his style and decision making, resembles Yamaguchi? Think about it. Watch the next few rallies.
I guess I can see it now, actually, even just by, yeah, I think, but maybe that's, you know, Kari Imabepu. Maybe that's the Japanese single setup that has kind of added that to his play. But you do see it with the Japanese doubles, with singles, that there are certain things that suddenly turn up. The only player I can think of that really breaks that while keeping it is
Zii Jia
Okuhara.
challenges called
But
in.
Okuhara's had such a wild career path that she kind of just plays. And she's also so small. It's like I call her the 5-foot assassin. She's unbelievable. First challenge of the match. And it's out.
Correction out. 5-3. Play. Service over. 4-5.
I just see Naraoka as such a wild card, and I really do mean that in the best possible way. But sometimes, even when he's taking his serve, he gets this wild look in his eye. He just like an uncontrollable force. Certainly a handful for a lot of players.
As you've come to realize, even throughout the week, I'm a big fan of players being quite individual.
Yeah, that's true. And that, I agree with you. I think it's important for them, you know, get that personality coming out over the game.
Service over.
So Zii Jia crafts out a first 2-point lead.
4. Thank you.
Well, it is certainly a tonic for Malaysia to have a singles player, national #1, that's beginning to deliver results. I'm sure the entire country is watching this match right now. He does have great support. He also gets through a fair few rackets.
Service over.
Keeps the stringers
In business,
in
basically.
business.
Thank you. On court.
Oh, that's an important point for Naraoka to win. It's a nice slice by, excuse me, Zii Jia. Perfect.
Service over. 7-5.
See, it works with Zii Jia as well. Let's go, Zii Jia. Let's go. So Naraoka trying to play out this rally. Zii Jia with a half-powered attack there, but still works.
8-5.
A big theme that shows the evolution of men's singles is that these players, they're all very individual. Kun Levert, Naraoka, Zii Jia, they can really pull out their signature shots, and it's wonderful to watch in the first game. Can they do it in the late second game?
Yeah,
That's become where the game is being played.
And sometimes one. You're
and
right.
won.
Very key phase of play in the match.
And Naraoka, I would imagine, just looking at his shots, the kind of shots that probably can be reproduced late in the second game and into a third game, signature shot-wise.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's actually just missed that one. That's kind of what we're talking about. He's willing to draw people into the net. He's also willing to go for the big jump smash at the back. But so far, he's been guilty of a couple of errors. It's a nice return by Zii Jia. And that's been left
Service over.
well by Naraoka.
6-9.
Well, the last title that Naraoka won was the China Masters. And that was Super 750 against Kenta Nishimoto last year.
7.
So I was saying earlier in the Ohori game that there's something that she does that Naraoka does from time to time. So I'll put it out there just so that we know when it happens. Naraoka, when he plays a long rally, about 4/5 into a long rally, he still has enough concentration to do a special shot.
Yeah, to pull off a classic. His court coverage obviously is excellent. He's got that low center of gravity. Oh, he's caught out there though. Funny I should be mentioning that because he was certainly caught out. You don't want to be leaving something that high into Zii Jia's hitting zone.
10.
And this special shot Naraoka would do when he does it, he doesn't particularly manufacture the occasion for it to happen, but he knows that the occasion happens 4/5 into a rally. And then he knows he's got his man because he's still got enough launch power in his feet to do the shots.
Well, physically, certainly he's almost conditioned himself to be ready for long matches.
8-10. Court attendant.
So, the court gets a quick wipe down. Zii Jia has never been behind so far in this match, in this game, I should say. And we're just on the brink of
8.
the first
10.
interval. What you were saying before, net to net to net to net to net.
11-8.
So 11-8
Interval.
at the break.
Twenty seconds. 20 seconds. Coach.
Right now it's Zii Jia who's got his jam going.
Yeah. I've loved the music selection today, the key center, I have to say.
11-8. Play.
I love the irony when Girls Want to Have Fun was being played when the two
During the
ladies
women's-
were really
yes.
fighting for their lives.
During the women's singles, I thought that, I did note that. So Zii Jia trying to stretch Naraoka immediately. That's good recovery from him.
It's a Tai Ying special, that one.
Yeah.
Service over. 9-11.
I mean, if you really did want the court to be mopped down, that's what you do right there. That's what I mean. There's another side to his game.
Thank you, Kodai.
Young people will be young people.
Young people will be young. He is 22 years old, and it is great to see that fire and enthusiasm in him. Well, this first game is going to be crucial.
9-11.
And he isn't that far behind after the break. Certainly doable at 9-11.
Naraoka picking up the pace.
Yeah, he certainly picked up the tempo. I think that's what his coaching staff were telling him.
12-9.
Try and hustle Zii Jia a bit, push him off his game. I mean, if you think about it, the only time a big smash player cannot unleash a big smash is one, of course, if it's flat, but two, if he's moving. If he's running around, it's going to be very difficult to get into that formation.
Normally, we only see this kind of foot speed from Naraoka when he's chasing.
Yeah.
Not for a full rally.
He really has picked up the tempo. That's so late. He still gets away with it. Well, it's the second time Zii Jia has tried to finish this point. Naraoka picked up both of his smashes. That has gone long after all that effort.
13-9. Hold on. Play on. Play on.
His real breakout was at that Super 1000 Malaysia Open final last year against Axelsen. Lost it, but what a run he had in Malaysia. Before that, it was all hundreds. Oh no, there was also Singapore Open Super 500 against Ginting.
And a certain World Championships as well.
Yes, yes, that's right.
10-13.
Kunlevet, that was. Three games. Any 22-year-old badminton player would love results like that in your breakout year.
And it's rarer in the men's game to have a younger player peak.
Yeah,
well,
that's
at
true.
least since the turn of the millennium. There's a long thought piece on Badzine about men's singles and youthful players not really managing the feet ever since Lin Dan's early career.
Well,
not written by me, I should say.
Service over.
Zii Jia would not be denied in that point.
14-11.
Once he got this smash in, he's straight up to the net. Pressure and pressure again. Well, you've got Naraoka trying to speed up these points. You've got Zii Jia trying to overwhelm his opponent. And it is proving
Kodai
that's out.
Naraoka challenges called out.
I have no doubt that that's out.
Court attendant.
There you go. For a second, I was scared.
Challenge
Actually, when
unsuccessful.
you look at the
One
trajectory of
challenge
it, you know, the way
Trajectory
it's done.
looked like it was going up. So normally I would say
15,
that Naraoka
11.
doesn't look worried even if he's not winning a
Play.
first game, but he does look worried.
He does
Well,
look a little bit
A
concerned,
little
yeah.
bit concerned. Let's put it that way.
I think it's because he's not being allowed to play the game that he wants. Zii Jia is certainly cutting him off in certain areas.
12,
And
15.
Naraoka is having to already make changes to just try and keep up. And that's the thing. I don't think he would have wanted to push the tempo so early in the match. But he's just not getting any traction.
And by further extension of that thought, does that mean that he doesn't think he could do it in the second game, or not as certain, not more than 50% certain?
Yeah.
Well, the other trope could be that Naraoka's coach has asked him to win in the first game in preparation for the Olympics.
Exactly. You know, you want to have the most clinical, effective output that you can. You certainly don't want to be leaving it down to shootouts in the third. But this is a pretty developed rally. Zii Jia, foot off the pedal a little. Oh, I was about to say no, he went for the big shot. Let's get that mop out again. 50-shot rally.
Well, Zii Jia going for the big shots, I think slightly before his sweet spot on his point of impact.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why I went wide.
Got attended.
I'm betting that if he does that a third time, the umpire is going to get involved. That is knowingly moistening the court.
Well, Kevin Tui generally,
Yeah.
runs a tight ship.
Thank you, Kodai.
As I said, and Naraoka has generally run afoul of umpires. In fact, the last time I saw him, he picked up a yellow card as well.
You have stats on this.
I do. I'm very, noted on these things, but
15.
I won't get into it now. But yes,
Play.
I'd love to see the overall stats of his career so far. 2 points back, so still within striking distance. But Zii Jia beginning to feel that he might just be able to snatch this first game. And that's just gone out.
14, 15.
Well, still a few mistakes creeping in for Naraoka, and that is dangerous.
16,
He hasn't been 100%.
There was a thought piece that I wrote on Badzine about Momota. And one of the things I wrote about Momota is when he was winning a lot and being looked at more and more closely, I mentioned that he had a lot of wins, and that was great, but they would not come from behind wins.
They were straight.
They were straight, yeah. He wasn't behind the scoreline when he won his matches, so at some point he had to prove that.
What a shot by Zii Jia. That's top class. As you've been saying,
17,
signature shot.
14.
Getting the service though. That was number 3 for the dive.
So
But
to
he
connect the
has been-
dots,
Thank you,
I'm thinking,
Attendant.
well, Naraoka has to
Players on
prove to
court.
himself and his coach that he can come back on cue.
Yeah.
Otherwise, your coach is limited in the kind of options that they can offer you
17,
Well,
during
yeah, you
intervals.
do need to have that backup plan if needed, and that's exactly where he is now. If he doesn't press that button, then he's going to lose this game. 18-14.
Because you can say to players who have a history of coming back, you've done this before. We can
Now,
do it again.
in the same way, and using that same line of thought, Zii Jia finds himself trapped, as we saw from his run in this week, in 3-game matches a lot. If he wins this first game, I'm sure his task at hand is going to be to try and finish it off in straight games.
Good point.
Because that's going to be the ultimate. And as I said, if you're dominating like that, you should be able to do it. But he does let players back in the second game.
19-14.
And you take a player like Sudirman at the beginning of the week, that is wildly unbalanced to go to 3. Certain players you should be able to finish off in 2.
Especially in calm, stable conditions.
Yeah.
Like
Balanced,
the Australian
yeah,
Open.
exactly.
Court conditions, I should add.
Yeah, there's no gale force wind to blame in Australia. I can tell you there was in Singapore, and there certainly was in Indonesia. But these are traditionally known to have those gusty conditions. And as I've said on countless occasions this week, if you're going to win, you have to learn how to play both sides. You know? And Sejong is an incredible player at adapting to conditions within the first couple of rounds. And so when she gets to quarterfinals and semifinals, it's... So, 5 game points.
Well, it's no wonder they're both tied.
Yeah, certainly. Well, the crowd even knows that this is a sparring session. And not only did Zii Jia not be able to finish off that point,
16,
that's his second racket
20.
that's gone.
Stringer's got to eat.
Must carry about 6 rackets in his bag. Yeah, roughly two per game if needed. So he's on quota. Now, that was Naraoka's doing with that big lift clear sparring patch that we just saw at
16,
game point.
20.
Refused to give Zii Jia any kind of leeway or traction, or even a shot he could play. And with that out, that's 2017.
17, 20.
Got to do more. Zii Jia has to step up.
18, 20.
Point by point, Naraoka edges closer. If this goes to extra points, it's going to be nobody's fault for Zii Jia. So that's 2 game points saved.
Well, if it's anything to go by, there's more maturity in Zii Jia from the way he won against Li Jiahao's.
Yeah, that's true. He's going to have to pull upon these new reserves. But this is great flat play from Naraoka. He's giving Zii Jia absolutely nothing to use. And now he's got him out of position. That's great play from Kodai.
It is great play from Kodai. Again, the whole waiting of the hit on the shuttle, enough without overpowering or overpressing until the right moment, until the man's...
A longing look from Zii Jia over to Master Wong in the corner, because there's nothing he could do. These last 3 game points saved.
$19, 20.
Well, Kodai now on the brink. Fast serve from Kodai. Caught out a little there. Caught out a lot there. 21-19.
First game won by Zii Jia, 21-19.
So, back on court for game 2, and interestingly enough, Aaron, it's actually only 4 rackets in Zii Jia's bag, and one of those broken rackets, there wasn't actually a chat between Wong Tat Meng and himself during that break. He essentially gave that broken racket to Tat Meng, who walked straight off court and gave it to a stringer. That is now being restrung as we speak. Possibly his favorite racket. Well, must-win scenario for Kodai. Now playing at the slightly better side of the court, and he's come out big.
Service over.
And I'm beginning to wonder whether or how often Kodai has faced this, which is Zii Jia's tailoring his solution here. It's a tailored solution to Kodai.
Too low.
Oh, that's an interesting little rally.
Service over. 1, 2.
Jumped on that, Zii Jia. Oh, that's a great shot.
It is a great shot.
And that's a testament to what we were saying about his increased prowess at the net. Well, as we were saying, this is going to be a test to see if Zii Jia can finish this off.
The way I
Not
feel
let.
Zii Jia is tailoring this solution to Kodai is he knows Kodai's reactions, and he's just being urgent on certain shots, going in earlier. Especially when Kodai is happily defending.
Well, this is a good challenge from Zii Jia. But in the end,
Challenge unsuccessful.
very much out.
1 challenge remaining. Service over. 3-2. Play.
Well, that's his bread and butter.
Service over.
429 kph. Just an average run out for him. So 3-all. All the time in the world, Kodai, to have a look at that. Good power.
That's an example of what I meant, Zii Jia. Certain urgencies that's only tailored to Kodai. He would hit the same shot, but taking it that split second earlier just for Kodai.
Yeah.
Because Kodai depends on a particular timing. He knows that players, you know, hit at a certain point in time. Zii Jia is just doing the same shot, but slightly earlier than he would normally. So there's a deliberate thought at that moment.
Well, so far it's been a good output from both players in this second game, but things could get very critical for Naraoka if Zii Jia can keep, as you say, pressuring at certain points. But he has to keep it tight, especially from this side of the court.
Service over. 4-all. Fault.
Kodai showing that he can
5.
insert some power into his game as well. Perhaps a little bit too enthusiastic from Kodai. He seems to be a little bit edgy, and that's what's led to a mistake.
Service over. 5-all.
Darting around court. Possibly not the most effective use of energy right now.
Service fault called. Too high.
Wow. Too high from Zii Jia.
Service over. 6-5. Just use your feet. Yeah, use your feet.
Oh, again, great response from Kodai.
7-5. Kodai. No shot.
He's got some shots. Kodai really has left and right. Zii Jia did not know where to go.
8-5.
Maximizing that side of the court, which
So
is what
it
you
is
have to
an
do.
exercise in playing more urgently because he's never seen this dimension in himself, Naraoka. I think this is the moment where finally the intention is meeting the hand skills sweetness
Yeah,
in the shot making.
and it's wonderful to see when that comes together. You know, all of a sudden his opponent doesn't know what to do.
That's right.
5.
He's got the speed, he's got the power, he's got the accuracy, and the intent, as you said. He's got the will to win.
it's almost looking a bit more Momota-esque, because Momota habitually played like that, footwork-wise. There's always urgency.
Oh, that's gone long. So, 4 unanswered points. And Naraoka, I'm sure, has created a little bit of concern in Zii Jia and Wong Tat Meng's minds. Straight to the body, and I don't think Naraoka appreciated that.
6-9.
No apology.
No apology. Well, they say the straight to the body shot tends to be the easiest one to take because your racket's sort of already there, but clearly,
I guess, yeah.
superior power on that one, even when you're ready and looking for it.
Well, there is a bit of a rivalry now created, being created between these two players. But this is a string, not only of great play by Naraoka, but a string of mistakes from Zii Jia as well. A lull, as we pointed out today.
You're spotting them earlier than I am now.
But I think, as I said, with Zii Jia, I'm always on the lookout for him setting up third games for his opponent. I don't understand why he does it. He comes out full guns blazing in the first game. In the second game, somehow, no matter what ranking you are, you can get back into it. So 11-6 at the break, and Naraoka has a good foothold in the second.
Seconds. 20 seconds.
So they are back on court. And Kodai now has this second game with a pretty firm grip on top of it. Zii Jia has to get out of this lull. He has to.
He started the second game fine.
Yeah.
He picked up where he finished on the first game.
It's a combination. That was a very nice. That was very nice from him over the net. And the dash forward as well.
Zii Jia with a Yamaguchi special, just saving it.
Yeah, except Yamaguchi is half his height, and she's amazing at getting around court. It's not something you really put for Zii Jia, but he did get there. He's been working on that, obviously, but it's also the quality of the shot at the end of it. He's pushed that long again, having trouble from this side.
Service over.
12-7.
7.
Has to learn to control both sides of the court. And for someone with such a killer smash, has to learn how to put these second games away. That's gone out. But I mean, just look at his body language now. It's very easy to tell when he's kind of up for it or when he's not up for it.
It's clear for all to see.
Certainly what's happening now. Bad read. That's in.
14-7.
So for all competitive players, you really don't want to have such a big gap between when you're hot and when you're not.
Absolutely.
You need to.
You know, you have to be careful, especially in the second game to make a read like that at the back. That is questionable. Kodai's now freely taking the second game. It's almost uncontested.
15-7.
And of course, what this means is that when you get into the third game, he's already running on his momentum from taking the second and kind of clawing it back. So it's for the player that won the first game to re-find that attacking flair.
And there's the complication of Kodai is still ultimately and primarily a Japanese-style player. He's not going to get tired like Odoyo in the women's singles.
He just switches on when he needs to that extra level. And that's it. It'll be that way till the end. We're seeing that happen again here. Almost a different player. Well, yeah, the crowd loves the 360 spin. But these trick shots don't win you matches. They win you points.
9-15.
Anyway, he's got the serve back now. Let's see what he can do.
Thank you.
Had a good couple of looks at that.
Service over.
Very wide with the
16-9.
What I'd like to see from Zii Jia as evidence that he has practiced this, as well as perhaps Lo Kin Yu, is a basic game. Basic games don't win you the whole match, but they keep you from losing the rally early. So you need to have a basic game that you can turn on while you have your lull.
Yeah, so it's not just black and white. There's that gray area in the middle which you can live in until you're better again. Oh, that's left and right, very wide.
17-9.
And if it was against any other player, I'd say fine, Zii Jia could do it. But against Kodai, I think he's got the second game for sure.
And if you're trying something, that means it's intentional. I don't think those errors are intentionally experimenting anything.
Yeah, I think he was actually looking for the lines. Kodai just gave him a little bit of a sign just before he hit that. It was like a goalkeeper just before.
17.
Just see it here. Just didn't know what to do. Towering frame of Zii Jia just blocked our view there. But I said I've seen this game, this second game from Zii Jia too many times.
10.
You know, where the threat level is just gone. And he'll be happy with winners, and he'll be happy with kind of the odd shot that he gets, but you're already 8 points behind. I mean, the point of it is to win the match. And foot off the gas.
Service over. 11-18.
And that's what I mean. That point, fine, take the credit for it. But there seems to be a fire that has been lost.
Service over. 19-11.
Well, third game shootout, as has been the theme for final Sunday here in the Australian Open, is looking very much on the cards. Tired, maybe?
Tired, maybe. Well, the lull equals tired, which means there should be second wind
in the third,
in the player.
Risky to banking on a three-game strategy against Kodai Naraoka, and that one's gone 21-11.
Second game won by Kodai Naraoka, 21-11, 1 game all.
That's exactly what we were talking about. There's confirmation of it. Look at the difference in times between the games as well. Third game coming.
20 seconds. 20 seconds.
So back on court for the decider, game 3. And in all fairness, Zii Jia has played 3-game matches essentially throughout this week.
Well, Kodai Naraoka is ruining my earlier evaluation or confusing our viewers because I said Zii Jia had tailored his approach to Kodai, but that's to typical Kodai. But obviously Kodai changed it and became ultra Kodai.
That's right.
And
he
proactive
kind of like,
Kodai.
he's just suddenly becomes super Kodai at some point.
So I don't think Zii Jia has a solution for that one yet.
But this is, in very many ways, this is the same match I see from Kodai as well. The first game's a little bit muted, and then before he knows he's in trouble, he turns into Super Kodai, and then he's a serious handful for people. This is not a good start. That's from the other side of the court.
I agree. It's only 1 point, but I agree. You can feel the sense.
You can feel the kind of the difference in momentum. Well, let's see if Zii Jia can break out of this. Start playing like he did in the first game. It's better.
To love.
This is his chance. Zii Jia's chance to keep pace with the scoreboard. What he does not need now is to go down by 4, maybe 5 points off the start, and then start playing, because Kodai will not let him back in. Out.
Love.
There's a difference between a powerful smash and over-pressing on the smash. That's an over-pressing, overcooking the smash.
Just felt in that first game was that little bit of fire, a little bit of spark that kept him online.
And Kodai would have noticed that was over-pressing on the smash.
Oh, that's return for that body shot. And no apology. These two are building up quite the rivalry. That was completely intentional. Maybe it's something you only see in mixed doubles and women's doubles these days. Maybe that's how it's going to go. There's too much masculinity on these men's singles courts these days. It's uncontested. It's exactly what I said. It's 5-love.
5.
And, you know, he's almost walked these points through.
I was open-minded and optimistic for Zii Jia as we opened, thinking, well, he's developed some new maturity.
Yeah, I know. So, I mean, in the start, the first game I was, but slowly the realism of what happens. And as I said, I've been doing a fair few tournaments over, since April. I've seen this happen before. You know, the Thailand Open, you've got to remember the Thailand Open, the Malaysian Masters, a lot of withdrawals from there. They were not, Jonathan Christie, Victor Axton not playing. So, fine, you got to the final, great, that's wonderful work to get to the final, but the same game turns up, the same match turns up. Patchy focus.
Naraoka taking control of the tempo of the match.
Absolutely taking control and, as you said, playing that game, that grey area game in the middle that does the job. He can add a special shot 3/4 of the way through, right at the start, right at the end. He keeps them guessing.
And I forgot to add, I had a perfect chance to add it earlier. Naraoka does have a basic game that he can depend on.
Yeah, he really does.
2-6.
So a chance now for Zii Jia on serve. He's just 4 points back. This is the chance for him to strike. That is great.
3-6. No, shuttle's fine.
As I said, his fans, big wow, ooh, 360 degrees, big woo. Look at the scoreline. Okay, that's what I mean.
Well, reverse backhand sells tickets.
Yeah,
even.
and from that position in the court as well, that was certainly one for the highlight reel. And I'm not going to take this away from him. He is clawing back the points when he should be. Okay, let's see if he can tie it up in 6. And then we have a proper shootout here in the 3rd. Second
Players
win,
ready.
perhaps. It's very big. It's very high. Forces the mistake. 7-4.
Service over.
We've been talking all week about optimum versus optimum. We've seen optimum. It's just not been at the same time. But they're both healthy.
Yeah.
So it's possible that Zii Jia can still reproduce optimum very soon.
Well, I'm glad to see there was a bit of sting in that smash. That's in. That
Zii Jia
actually looked
challenges called
on the
in.
edge of the line. But the undisputed truth that is Hawkeye will determine exactly where that landed. Key point as well. And that is out. Well spotted by Zii Jia. And his
Correction
comeback
out.
in the 3rd is still on.
Service over. 5-7.
He needed that.
He really needed that, yeah. And hopefully that's going to be a little
Play.
wake-up call for him. 2 points back now. He's got to show the same intensity that Kodai is. Oh, wonderful from Kodai. Oh, and that's good from Zii Jia, just out of reach.
6-7. Lee. Quick towel only.
Well, his legion of fans are in full voice.
6-7.
I believe they're lifting him. His timing was good on that shot.
Yeah, no. As I said, I was very happy with that point. And now he's tied it up at 7. So I'm taken care of. That's what I wanted to see in the 3rd. Has certainly stepped up his output enough, or a little bit. Remains to be seen if it is enough. Oh, maybe he's done enough to rattle Kodai.
That looked like overpressing as well.
Yeah, that did.
But this time from the Japanese player.
Take from Kodai. He's all over it, and he's left that one well.
Service over.
So should we characterize this as the contest really starts from here?
Yes, because let's scrub everything away from before. Whether it was fatigue, whether it was second wind, whether it was just Zii Jia thinking about something else entirely and dropping that second game. Now, forget the first game, forget the second game. It's 8-all, and it's a level playing field. I noticed that Meng is leaning forward a bit.
And same for Kodai. No more thinking about the
no more-
exercise
exactly.
of trying something new.
Now it is about a shootout for the championship. That's better from Zii Jia. How did he get that back? Is that out? It is.
Nine, 8.
Well, Naraoka looking like he might be inviting this. He might be waiting for these mistakes.
I'm inclined to agree. Maybe he's going back to usual Kodai.
Yeah, usual Kodai would do that. It's also worked for him before against higher-ranked players to do that. Because he has that basic game, he'll play out the rally. He's got wonderful defense. It's just, I don't understand it. Plenty of other shots you can play.
So for the viewers, it looked like he had a chance to do that shot, but actually, when you want to do a backhand clear, it can't be too close to your torso. It needs to be slightly further away.
No, I think he was thinking about the shot, not thinking about the match. Oh, it's wonderful from Kodai. My. Well,
too
what a
good
return.
from the Malaysian. Although not the most difficult shot to do, he was in position. Well, I take that back.
Yeah.
It had hit the tape.
He reset himself for that.
So full marks, Zii Jia. Tough shot
Yes.
after it hit the tape.
Yeah.
Just your foot, please.
I don't think Kelvin's going to agree to that. Yes, you see, he isn't. He's done himself no favors for the umpiring division. Oh, well, this is turning into a much better third game now. Good defense from Zii Jia. Great recovery from the second one he couldn't do anything about. 415.
So that's a bit of maturity there from Zii Jia.
Yes.
It's not the first kill. Even though you think you've done a great kill, and it is a great kill, you must be able to do the second one.
Have that back up.
That takes so much athleticism to be able to do that. And it takes a lot of puff as well.
Yep, absolutely. So, it's another third game shootout on the brink of the interval.
10 all.
There's 3 games in the mixed doubles, 3 games in the women's singles, 3 games in the women's doubles. There's 3 games here in the men's singles as well. Cool, calm and collected as he takes the 1-point lead. 11-10 at the break.
Change ends. Twenty seconds. 20 seconds.
So here we go.
Kodai.
A new men's singles champion awaits. Weng Hongyang not
11,
in attendance this week.
10.
The defending champion. And that new champion will be crowned in this phase, at the end of this phase of play. Kodai starting off on the better side of the court.
Service over. 11 all.
Wow, that point has leveled it all up. So it is the first to 10 points from here. Nice from Zii Jia.
12-11.
Well, it's optimum versus optimum from my point of view.
Well, maybe we've just both been, and everyone else has been completely duped. Maybe he put on that second game, and he's been saving his energy for this, the last phase of game three, sorry. That's his first point run for about a game and a half.
11.
You know, that's actually a shot that Naraoka would probably have played.
Yeah.
Naraoka's famous for those cross-court net shots.
Well, he certainly looks more up for it now, Zii Jia. He's picked that up nicely.
Oh, we're changing to Super Kodai.
Super Kodai is definitely in the house.
That's the kind of thing I was talking about. Just Kodai-specific smash. Like,
yeah.
this is the moment. I have to execute quickly.
I think it's remarkable the sudden change of attitude that we've seen from Zii Jia. It just looks like it is a plan. And if that has been Wong Tat Meng, then that's a masterstroke if he's done that. If he's lulled Kodai into thinking, I am Super Kodai and I'm winning, and then you pop up here and you do this to him at the end, and that is
so
wonderful.
Inception.
It is literally 3 levels of dreaming.
11.
I had to catch up to that thought of yours.
But if they've done it, then that's incredible. That's amazing. But I've just a marked change from Zii Jia on the worst side of the court. Super Kodai has no answer right now. 15-11. It's a 4-point run for Zii Jia.
15-11.
Kodai's used to getting these big smashes, but because Zii Jia is producing them at the point of impact quicker,
And around the body.
It's asking too much of Kodai's reaction. Kodai can take it when he's just looking for it, but just getting his racket in position, not quite there.
Wow, is it going to be a second title for Zii Jia in 2024? It's a different Zii Jia.
It's a different Zii Jia.
It's an absolutely different Zii Jia.
And like self-confidence,
11.
maturity, for it to solidify, it requires a win. You can build maturity, but for it to really stick, the tournament win would help that.
16-11. Medical timeout from Kodai. Now, this is what I mean about breaking rhythm. He's a master of breaking rhythm. And I've seen this happen before as well. I'm not saying he's not injured, but he's been moving so well, I can't see it. It is a great way to put a 30-second break, 45-second break in. He looks fine.
I'm glad he's all right, though, because he's an Olympian, up-and-coming Olympian.
Exactly. Both of them heading to the Olympics. We don't want knocks.
16.
And badminton really,
11.
at its highest level, it's not a normal, natural human movement.
That's
it
true.
does take its toll.
It does take its toll. The question is, has he broken Zii Jia's rhythm? It's a different Zii Jia. He's accurate. He's committed. He's up for it. And he's being very smart about things. I'm impressed.
You're impressed? Not overplaying?
Whether that is an Inception type theory or whether he's, you know, he's just suddenly turned it on, I am
Just how?
impressed. That's a good way to get to the end. I guess if both players are just looking to get to the trophy, this is a valid, good strategy. It certainly seemed to have rattled Kodai enough. 6-point run, 11 all to 17-11. Oh, look at that pressure. Wow, that was a forced error. That's broken the run.
Service over. 12-17. Thank you.
So let's see if it was indeed anything to do with the serve. Kodai now on serve. Just a good look at the line judge from Zii Jia.
13-17.
I'm just enjoying the match at this point because it's optimum versus optimum.
Yeah,
and even though it's not locked anymore, that's really Zii Jia's credit.
They've had good spells, they've had bad spells, both of them, but if it can both turn up at this, then the neutral, the viewers,
14,
us, we're happy.
17.
(14-17). Now it's getting a bit dicey. Naraoka, if he can secure these next 2
Players
points,
ready?
it really is going to be a shootout till the end. That's one of them. Is that another record that's gone?
15,
It's unbelievable.
17.
He is a big lad. Well, he's pretty. There you go. Look, he's passed it off to Wong Tan
Just
Mei.
in case there's a
Just-
fourth
yeah,
set.
just in case there's another one. Let's go and
The
get
fourth
that
game, I should
restrung
say.
right now. On hand, restringing. That was good body defense from Kodai. Couldn't pick that one up though. 18-15.
Service
He's
over.
3 points away.
18-15.
Restringing takes more than 15 minutes, so.
Well, I guess we'll find out more from his post-match interview. And do, of course, look out for that on BWF social media and YouTube channels, etc.
Unless it goes to 29:30, we don't have 15 more minutes
18.
if he breaks another string.
Well, that was an important point for Naraoka. He's just got to score more points than Zii Jia. For every 1 point that Zii Jia scores, he's got to score 3. That's nice and careful from the Malaysian. Lift to the back. That is in.
Challenges called out.
No, it was called out. You know what? From up here, it looked in. Valid challenge.
But good gameplay from Zii Jia and good gameplay
Fantastic.
from
Absolutely
Naraoka as well.
fantastic. I'm very impressed with what he's been doing. Oh, look at that. This is where it gets interesting, Aaron.
One challenge remaining.
So, 1 point
17,
between them.
18.
Much better from Zii Jia. That was smart play. But Kodai also rising to the challenge. He's on serve. It's a quick serve from Naraoka. Oh, that's out. I can't believe it. This is like one of my favorite movies now. Love it. 18 all.
Well, the passage of play since 8 to 18.
Yeah, from 11 all to 18 all. Now Super Kodai is back. He's gambling with these lifts. Zii Jia.
Goes for the body.
What a return. That's in. There's no challenge. Edge of the line. What a rally, though. What a rally. What a
Zii Jia,
point.
no hesitation on that net shot. Although I'm sure he would have been calibrating how close Kodai's shot would be and how close he wants to make his reply.
But some of the body defenses in that as well. They literally
Players on court.
tried every trick in the book, both of them, and were equal to it. So, here we go again. Zii Jia with the serve this time. Championship point is just around the corner for both of them.
19-18.
But it's who can turn that corner.
Play.
That's out.
Kodai Naraoka
There's another
called
challenge
out.
coming. Well, it has really come down to... Oh, that's very out. So, Zii Jia with 2 championship points.
20 match point.
The way he's been
18.
playing, I think he's going to do it.
Play.
Kodai staring down the barrel. He's pushed it wide and he's done it. 21-18.
Zii Jia so happy, not just with the win, but how he eked out the win.
Yeah, yeah. And as I said, I think if he did just make that lull happen in the middle and then come back stronger in the third, then maybe that is the exact experience he needs to pick up for Paris.
And it really takes 2 to make such a great game.
Yeah, fantastic match. Fantastic men's singles. He's the new Australian Open singles champion. And it's 2 titles out of 3 finals in his run-up to Paris. I still think Victor Axelsen, Jonathan Christie, Li Shifeng, all shooting for gold is going to be a very tough proposition. But
True.
you can't ask for a better
But
setup.
this was good grounding.
This was
important
fantastic,
grounding.
yeah.
Fight back from Zii Jia.
Competitive, final atmosphere, you know, competitive opponent as well.
And playing an opponent who changed his game plan. As we said, takes 2. He knows that this was
absolutely.
a special win.
Well, he impressed me, Zii Jia. I have to say, I honestly thought that that was going to go the same way in the second game. He's had 3 game matches all week, but this was by far against Kodai one of the hardest.
Well, it was a nail biter, just like last year's final between Wen Hongyang and Pranoy.
Well, I saw him shaking hands with the Japanese coach. I didn't see him shaking hands with Kodai. Maybe I missed that. So, they're on their way to the trophy presentation. What a match. So there's confirmation of it. Another three-game epic. 19-21. Oh, 21-19, 11-21, 21-18. And now we're getting back to the trophy presentation, which should be ready.
And the medal for the runner-up will be presented by Alan Zhang, manager of NBC. Ladies and gentlemen, your runner-up of the men's singles, Kodai Naraoka from Japan. I would like to welcome Jeff Chen, chairman of Victor, to make the presentation to the winner. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner in 2024 men's singles champion, Zii Jia from Malaysia. And finally, I would like to welcome Joe Chow, Director of Australian Badminton League, to make the final presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, your men's singles finalists.
So coming up next, it is the men's doubles final, the final. He Jiting and Ren Xiangyu against Mohamed Hassan and Hendra Setiawan. Don't go anywhere. Well, it has been a three-game extravaganza for the first four finals. Are we going to see that again in the men's doubles? It's the number 1 seed taking on the number 2 seed, He Jiting and Ren Xiangyu against Mohamed Hassan and Hendra Setiawan. And this is how they got to the final.